Well, I tried to get some sleep, and then my alarm went off. And right when I turned over to turn off my alarm, there's Cooper just looking at me, ready to go. And I'm like, well, good morning to you. I'm up. uh, oh, anyway, with that funny little moment put aside, so yesterday, I went to go see Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, I got a lot. Uh, well, I don't really have a lot to say about it. Uh, Other than the fact that there's similarities to a whole bunch of other different horror movies all combined into one movie, and that's how I could summarize it. And it wasn't really as scary as Wacky Willie's. Uh, that 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 movie with Nicolas Cage as haunted animatronics. I think that one was a little bit more terrifying than Five Nights at Freddy's. Even though Five Nights at Freddy's actually had actual characters from the game and the lore and all that stuff. Anyway, and there's a lot of easy Easter eggs to to look at in the film. Um, there are moments where you're just like, and there's moments that like it it was a weird horror movie because I don't think you consider it horror, even though they say it's a scary movie. Maybe they're just building up to the next one because I know that it's based on a game series, you know, and and the fandom's like really huge. I get it, but it was it wasn't as scary as most horror movies where you know like there wasn't really a lot of screaming in the theater. I That's weird, you know. Usually when you go to see a scary movie, some people in the audience will scream and freak out. Uh, this one it wasn't like that. I Maybe that's just me. Like I know I've been to a few scary movies where a few people in the audience are like terrified and they're just like, oh my god, you know. And then there's other people that are just like, but this one it was just like, it was like wasn't there wasn't really a lot of like terrifying things about it. I mean, there were terrifying things about it, but it really wasn't based on like what the animatronics were doing. And I think it was more of like if I really dove into it and depict and like dissected it, you know, piece by piece and break it down, it literally is basically an episode of Supernatural where Sam and Dean have to go to a one of these arcade pizzeria areas and defeat a child's imagination uh, problem. and how the coloring pictures, if you color the monsters will come to life. That's pretty much what Five Nights at Freddy's was. I know it sounds right. It's pretty much that's what Five Nights at Freddy's was. Even though it did have, the actor from the Hunger Games, in it, which was pretty cool, and then they had the actor from 13 Ghosts and Scooby Doo. He did the voice actor of Shaggy. But other than that, I mean, it was like okay. But it really did have a lot of Blumhouse, other Blumhouse horror films put into it. But like I said, it really wasn't as terrifying as most horror movies are. I don't know. Maybe we're gonna wait. Yes, we're gonna wait to to see if it's gonna get scarier. I don't know, but it was another awkward experience of seeing a movie. And then trying to do a movie review on, because like I said, it's a pain in the ass for me to do these movie reviews. One, no one watches. Two, no one gives a fuck. And three, I've seen so many fucking movies, that's pretty much all I talk about. But we go back to number one, which is no one gives a fuck. Because no one watches. So. And I really have no one else to, talk about it. Besides myself. Yeah. Anyway. Though there was a funny moment in the film, which was pretty funny, The most terrifying moment of that film is the restaurant scene. And there's something really terrifying in that restaurant scene. The diner scene. There we go, the diner scene, yeah. That's the most terrifying moment, is the diner scene. There's one character in that movie, and you can see the terror on the person's face. And if you can see it, then you might get a good laugh. But other than that, it's a 4 out of 5 stars for me. 4.5 actually. Oh, I should make it 3.5. To be honest, I mean it really wasn't that scary. But but I'm not rating the stars on scariness. I'm rating the stars on how good it was. I mean, it was decent, so it was 4.5 stars. But in scare rates, it really was maybe a, I don't know, a 2.5 stars. It was a little bit more psychological scares, and not what the whole concept of the movie was about, haunted animatronics, it was more of things that happen in reality, which I really am like, wow, would you look at that when they pass the 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 the, the fear of what it's like for most people, a natural fear. What is a natural fear? The natural fear was basically ghosts. Yeah, it all has to do with ghosts. So robots weren't the problem. It was ghosts. And so this whole time I'm trying to talk about the movies and all that, and yeah, there's no more point. There's no more point to it anymore. I've really given up. I'm just like, I'm done. Now there's other people that will, they're better at, reviewing and talking about these films and all that. So you should watch their videos instead of mine, which I don't blame you. But I still think it's not as terrifying as I really can't think of a most terrifying movie. Oh, wait. I got one. No, I don't got one. I thought I had one. I can't think of one. A long time ago, I used to be terrified of stuff. And then as I grew up, which that's what people do, they grow up and they overcome their fears, and then they watch the movies again, and it's like, oh, yeah, once you rewatch them, you're like, yep, that's terrifying. So when your fear is removed from yourself, it's like, it's hard to be scared, But I think the moment that like kind of did it for me, sealed the deal, was basically right in the beginning. I knew how it was gonna end. Like they kind of foreshadowed it. That's the word. They foreshadowed it, and I was like, oh, yep. I can see where the twist is coming. I can see where it's gonna be like that. That's it. They foreshadowed it too soon, and I picked up on it. So, I guess the film was kind of like finished from the get go. But for everyone else, they were enjoying it, which, that's cool. It's just, I'm one of those type of people, if I start to watch something, I can figure it out, and I'm like, alright, I can see how it goes. See how it plays out. And but, nevertheless, it wasn't as terrifying as, seeing full-grown naked people, old senior citizens, just walking around naked. That's more terrifying than seeing, oh, God. It's terrifying. Her wrinkly skin. That's what happens. That's terrifying. See? I don't know. I don't really know anymore. Anyway. I hope there's gonna be more in the more of it of them films coming out. I know there's like five in the series. There's like six, five in the series, in the games. So, but yeah. they gotta they gotta amp up the horror. They gotta amp it up. You know, it wasn't gory, which I wasn't really expecting a lot of gore, but I mean, these are like giant mechanical robots killing people. You can put some gore into it. You know, but not everything's like, blood and gore. Most of the time, it's more psychological, which is more like just straight up, it fucks with your mind. And so one thing that could fuck with your mind is basically, uh, you know, bad things happen to good people, bad things happen to bad people, but yet the world still gets fucked up in the end. How's that? That's terrifying, right? That's terrifying. Hmm. Anyway. Um. Well, it's not really a review anymore. You know? No, the one movie I am actually interested in actually reviewing and like, giving, you know, my best and my hardest attempt to really make another video is Thanksgiving. It's a new horror movie coming out. Um, and it's directed by Eli Roth, and Eli Roth is well known for horror. I mean, the Green Inferno, that was terrifying. That was terrifying. That has to do with native tribes in some country doing cannibalism, which is pretty intense, pretty scary. Then a a Jigsaw, 13 Ghosts, Supernatural, Terminator, Killer Robot film. But pick your horror, I guess. Enjoy it. And that's what life is all about. Do what makes you happy, I guess. If you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. Simple as that. But anyway, and I'm not one to, like, be hating on everything. I'm just one to just be like, well, that wasn't really that scary. But I said my piece. Move on. Anyway, I think that's gonna do it. Getting some cold weather coming soon, so that's terrifying.